भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ भूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी। वैज्ञानिकता विनय सभ्यता स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी, स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी। देशभक्ति में तेजस्वी हो फिर समाज यह सारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
महावीर गोविंद शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे। परंपरा की पुण्य चेतना उर में हम सब धारे, उर में हम सब धारे। बाल हृदय में उसे जगाकर जगे देश यह सारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
समर्थ बनाओ। बंधु भाव समता ममता से सबको गले लगाओ, सबको गले लगाओ। चलो विवेकानंद मार्ग पर, शुभ संदेश हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा। भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी। बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु, जो दायकु फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीसतिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़ पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूरति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता।
Jai Shri Krishna to all the devotees. A warm welcome yet again on behalf of Geeta Parivar to each one of you to this interpretation session of the second half of chapter 7, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Yoga, that's yoga through realization of divine knowledge. In the previous chapter, chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga or Atma Sanyamya Yoga, Bhagavan explains the techniques of meditation, rather the technique of self-realization through methods of concentration or meditation. Naturally, there would be a possible doubt in the mind of Arjuna as to how a limited and mortal mind and intellect of a finite creature could ever comprehend the entire limitless infinite. In order to remove this doubt, Krishna opens a particular new chapter with a promise that he would explain the entire science, both in theoretical and speculative aspects, and clear all the possible doubts that Arjuna had on the subject. You would have already listened to the first part of this interpretation last week, and now time for the second part. But before that, like all other sessions, we would begin this event with a prayer, the Arambha Prarthana. A prayer, as we all know, is an integral part of our Hindu Sanatana Dharma. We begin our day with a prayer and we end our day too with a prayer. There is a noble adage, open the door of a day with the dawn. Open the door of a day at the dawn with the key of prayer and shut it with the latch of prayer at night. The prayer includes love, respect, faith, and pleading. For most of us, it is an ineffable emotion and a possible solution to all our problems, predicaments, and challenges in life. So today we have with us Gaspar Srinivasa Rao Garuji from Vizianagar. I hope I've got that name of the place right, Vizianagar, who's working as a leading fireman in the state disaster response and fire service department. That's impressive. So associated with Geeta Parivar since 2021, and he's rendered his services as a group coordinator as well as assistant tech. So Bhaiya, over to you for the Arambha Prarthana.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Can we please unmute?
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you for reciting that so beautifully. And now, we shall now have our traditional and divine Deep Prajwalan, the lighting of the lamp as we know it. Lighting of the lamp like prayer is an intrinsic part of our culture. Lighting of the lamp signifies invoking the presence of God around us and awakening the inner spiritual energy. A lit lamp symbolizes Atma Jyoti, which is eternally knowledge bestowing. Just as light acts as a dispel of darkness, may this lighting of the lamp dispel the ignorance and darkness inside our minds and illuminate the divinity, wisdom, intellect, and all the good vasanas in us. So today with us, Aparna Joshi ji from Chikhali, Maharashtra. Didi is associated with Geeta Parivar since March 2021. Didi is a co-trainer of L1, L2, L3, and L4 batches, and she's also a member of monitoring. So over to you, Didi, for Deep Prajwalan.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Thank you, Didi. Beautiful. Thank you for that beautiful Deep Prajwalan. And now we are on our journey to the most anticipated part of today's session. That is the interpretation session. And speaker of the day is Shraddha ji, Raodeo ji, senior trainer. Anyway, a lot to give you introduction about. So please stay with us a bated breath. So Didi is she's a resident of Hyderabad, and Didi is an engineering graduate in electronics and also PG diploma in IT systems and management. Didi has worked as a mobile application developer and team lead for over 13 years. And Didi has been conducting Bhagavad-Gītā classes in Hyderabad for over 9 years now and has been associated with Geeta Parivar as a trainer. Currently, Didi is taking L4 classes, and Didi has also conducted classes for Bhopal jail inmates, and all of them for whom she's taken classes have also taken the Jignasu exam. So that's really great. So apart from being a co-trainer, Didi is also an examiner and a Vivechak, as you'll be listening to her Vivechan today, and also heading the class monitoring team. She's associated with Gokulam Hyderabad in Hyderabad for over 8 years to inculcate Indian values, culture, and Indian scriptures or Hindu scriptures to kids over 5 years. So, Didi, over to you for the interpretation section. Shraddha Devi.
Shri Krishna, a very warm welcome to the session. This was a beautiful start of the session, all of you. Let's begin with the prarthana. Hari Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Kratitam Puranamunina Matthi Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshiniim Bhagavati Mashtadashatyayini Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavati Devatveshini Om Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. Before we begin the session today, I'm very delighted to inform everybody that today I'm in Rishikesh in close proximity with Swamiji. We're staying in Swargashram at Rishikesh. The downfall of that thing is the network issue could be there. Today my network isn't extremely stable. So in case I get disconnected, please do not mind and I'll be connecting back soon. So we do have some backup here, but if there are any network issues, I request everybody to bear with me. So, but with Swamiji's Kripa, I just pray that everything goes smoothly. So again, we'll begin with the session today. And it's the Jnana Vijnana Yoga today. It is a very beautiful, slightly difficult to understand, yet very interesting chapter. In the earlier session, we have seen some very important shlokas, and I feel very blessed by the grace of God, Krishna, Lord Krishna, and blessings of Param Pujya Swami Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj. Today we all are connected by the Bhagavad-Gītā Prem, by the Bhagavad Prem. We all are connected by the love for God, and this is a chapter which will teach us how to love God in its best form, how to understand Him in best form. We all are set on this path of devotion and knowledge. And today, our journey, if we want this journey to be successful, Shri Krishna has told in the previous session, we have seen few important things. Maya Sakta Manaf. This is what we have seen earlier. Maya Sakta Manaf. The mind should be attached to only one thing, and that is God Himself. Maya Sakta Manaf. Then Madashraya. Take refuge, take shelter in God Himself. And Yoga in Yunjan. Yoga in Yunjan. We have seen this also, very important. Being connected all the time with Shri Krishna. And we have seen this, and also further we had seen some important shlokas. Like once a Jnani Purush who is connected to God in these, how he can strive to come out of this entire cycle of birth and death. We were at a point where we were discussing some very beautiful vibhutis, what Shri Krishna has tried. Shri Krishna has literally opened up Himself, telling all about Himself, what we ultimately need to know about God. In this search for Shri Krishna, in this research about what is Krishna, what is Jnana, what is Vijnana. Very important things we have seen. What is knowledge and what is Vijnana? Knowledge is the ultimate knowledge that Shri Krishna is speaking about. And here Vijnana means the knowledge that we need to
I think Didi is having some network issues. And Didi will join back.
And from the tech team, please tell me if am I still audible.
Didi, you are slightly muffled voice. Not able to hear you. No. Maybe you could log out and log in, Didi. Yeah, I think Didi will. Didi will join back. So in the meantime, let me, I hope you all are aware of this Rama Pratishtha app. So if you're not aware of it, please download it. It is the Shatakoti Hanuman Chalisa Abhiyan, which we all have taken the Shapath, the pledge to recite 100 crore times Hanuman Chalisa. You can download that app and you can also take a pledge as many number of times you want to recite. And so that will be collected, and after successfully completion of this will be offered at the lotus feet of Ram Lala, Ayodhya, after the Ram Pratishtha. Ram Pratishtha ceremony should for January 15th, 2000.
I am back.
Yes.
Sorry, see, I'm really sorry. This might happen little often today, but we'll try to, we'll try to work around this. So we were talking about Jnana Vijnana. Jnana is the ultimate knowledge of God, and Vijnana, the knowledge that is essential to sustain through in this world. But assuming that Vijnana, the knowledge that we have now, the knowledge of our surroundings, the knowledge of our environment, or the knowledge like engineering, medical, and other fields, assuming that this Vijnana is the complete knowledge in itself, is ajnana, means is ignorance. That is a very important thing that we discussed in the last session. Further, we were at a point where we saw about the vibhutis, how different vibhutis of Shri Krishna are. And then now we are at a point where Shri Krishna is explaining a little more about the world that he has created for us. And we have seen that some people, I'll end up, ignoring this ultimate knowledge and going on a path. This ego comes, like I know everything, irrespective of the fact that God has created everything. People forget that, and they have this ego that I am everything, and they walk in an undesirable path. Why do people end up doing that? That this we will be seeing in today's session. Ye chaiva satvika bhava rajasas tamasa tamasaschaye matta eveti tan viddhi natvahanteshu te mahi. Very beautiful shloka. Here Shri Krishna is telling how he has created everything that we see around us is created from what? The three gunas. Everything is created from the three gunas. And see, when we say that everything around us is made from three gunas, certain things, we all have gone through the three gunas in the level 2. The first one, sattva gun, rajogun, tamogun. We have seen these three gunas are basically ruling the world. They have binded everything around themselves. Why is this so? See, when we talk about three gunas, everything that we see around us, all the creatures that we see around us are constituted of these three gunas. When we see they are made out of these three gunas, it doesn't mean that any one gun is active at a time. Just that the quantity of these gunas will be a little different. So at a point, sattva gun could be higher, but the other two might be a little stable, a little lesser. Sometimes rajogun would be higher. So in a balance, these three gunas are working. At a time, any one of them could be very active. So nothing is purely sattvic, nothing is purely rajasi, and nothing is purely tamasic. All the three gunas are always going to exist, just that their quantity will be a little up or down. And none of the things are free from them. So these gunas are originating from Shri Krishna himself, from the Parampita Paramatma himself. However, he cannot be binded by them. This is a very important thing that we all have. What are the things that Shri Krishna says? Each one of us is binded. See, you all are attending Vivechan sessions, trying to, be on the path of this enlightening journey. So this time our Sattva Guna is high. Sometimes the Rajo Guna will be high. Why just this Vivechan? Let me complete some of this work. Similarly, while we are bounded by them, Shri Krishna is not affected by them. How do we see this? We all know snakes are poisonous. Snakes are there. The poison of the snake is very dangerous for others, but it will not affect the snake himself. The snake is immune from all this. The God himself is immune from the effects of the gunas. And further Shri Krishna explains, Tribhir gunamayir bhavair ebhis sarvamidai jagat mohitanna bhijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam. Everything around us is controlled by these three gunas, and we are so blinded because see,
I think Didi's network is again got stuck. So please be patient. The best part about this is that Didi is at Rishikesh. So we are actually getting the direct effect, the positive effect from the place where Didi is giving her Vivechan. So I request all of you to be really, really patient. Didi will come back. So in the meantime, this is to remind all of you that there is a L1 batch, which is going to begin on 21st July. So as you know, to learn Geeta at Geeta Parivar, please spread the word around. It is our social and spiritual responsibility to spread the word around. Didi is back. So Didi.
God, this is going to be, till what point could you hear, can you tell me? Because I continued my session, I don't know where.
Didi, you were talking about the snake, the poison of the snake does not affect the snake.
Okay, I already started the next shloka after that. So, yeah, further describing the gunas, Shri Krishna explains, Tribhir gunamayir bhavair sarvamidai jagat mohitanna bhijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam. How are we all? We are binded by the three gunas, so deluded by these three gunas that beyond this, we are not able to distinguish between the immutable Parampita Paramatma and our own selves. So the ego, the ego that, I am going to office, I am working, having, this illusion around the existence itself. We are so, we are so deluded by our very existence that we have forgotten the very source of our existence. The ego is so high that we forget the God who is actually created us. Here, very important thing is Tribhir gunamayir bhavair. So these entire three gunas are assuming the different forms. Ebhis sarvamidam jagat. It is basically doing the control of all the gunas. Mohitanna bhijanati. We are not even understanding that we are delusion. See, suppose in a dream, you see a tiger, and in the dream, people start sweating when they look at the tiger. When we see a tiger in the dream, we actually start sweating. It is so dready even in a dream. Is that tiger a real tiger? No. But our emotions with that are so real. The dream, the tiger is our imagination. Here, the Srishti is something that has been created by Shri Krishna, and we are so affected by it. We are so deeply attached with it. Mohitan nabhijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam, because of their very strong attachment to the world around them. they do not understand, they do not remember the Avyaya form. We have seen two types of Prakriti last time, Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. We see the Apara Prakriti. We do not see what is beyond that. Now, so we enjoy a lot of food. Our food everybody loves. So it is always very, when we discuss some shloka with the example of foods, people remember it for a longer time, I think. When somebody eat the food, we don't think about who is the chef who has made the food. It's very tasty. This shop, you will get this very good food at home. If we visit a beautiful garden, I'm in Rishikesh, beautiful place. You see, there are so many beautiful gardens around this place. Looking at that place, that beauty we will enjoy. The beauty of that garden we are thoroughly enjoying. But how often does the thought about the gardener come in our mind? Who is the one who is taking care of these plants? Who is the one who is nurturing them so beautifully that they make you forget all your worries? So now this is how the world is, they'll forget the creator, the maintainer, the person caretaker behind all the beautiful things that we see around. Same thing is happening with God also. We are so attached to what we see that we are forgetting what is behind it. And human life is the only life, only birth that we can have to become free from all these attachments. Swamiji always says one sentence: karma is a way of getting free from all the different the cycle, the chitta shuddhi. Your soul is going to get purified by doing karma. It is a means of doing purifying the karma, the soul. How you will purify the soul? By doing good karma. Now, this is possible only in the human life. The irony is, though the human life is the only life, only birth in which a person can become free from all these bindings, but human beings are most delusioned in this world itself. The maximum amount of delusion is happening in the human birth only. Why does this happen? Because God has played a very important trick with us. If we understand this trick, we will be able to understand why we are not able to see beyond the illusion that is happening. This is because God has hidden his identity by dropping a curtain in front of us. And that curtain's name he has introduced in the next shloka. It is Maya. Daivi thyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante Maya metantaranti te. How is this Maya? Daivi yesha gunamahi. This entire Srishti that you see around you, he has termed, is a result of what? Maya. And this is divine. It's mentioning here that Daivi yesha gunamahi. This is a divine creation. The entire thing, though it is made of all the three gunas, gunamayi, it is made of these gunas. However, it is daivi, it is divine. Mama maya duratyaya. What is the meaning of this word duratyaya? Duratyaya means it is very difficult to cross over. Huge river you see in front of you. It's very difficult to cross. Mama maya. Maya, so he is calling it his Maya, the delusion created by him. How it is divine, yet it is very difficult. It's almost impossible to cross this delusion. Why? So this is difficult. Okay, we see now, and we seeing a very beautiful Ganga Nadi. It looks very difficult to cross. However, there is a bridge that has been made on which you can nicely walk and we can cross the river. Thus, this kind of bridge, there is a solution that Shri Krishna himself is providing here. Mameva ye prapadyante maya metantaranti te. Mameva ye prapadyante. Those who take shelter in me, those who take refuge in me, those who are devoted to me, they can only be they can only cross this river of Maya. Such a beautiful thing he has explained here. This is This is an illusion created by Shri Krishna himself. And he says it is very, very difficult, almost impossible to cross over this. However, those who are dedicated to me can cross over,
So Bhumi's connection is gone again, but like always, they will be back. So please be a bit patient. Like I was telling you earlier, we have a L1 batch beginning on July 21st. So please spread the word around and try to get in as many people as possible, because that is our spiritual and dharma. Yes,
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are, Didi, you are.
Okay, what was the last thing that
you were talking about the Maya, that he's given us both the illusion as well as a way forward to come out of that illusion.
Okay, very nice. So there is a boon in this network issues. I can really, everybody needs to be alert to at least be able to tell me what I was talking about last. Okay, so we were discussing about the Maya, how it's very difficult to cross. However, Shri Krishna tells those who are dedicated to me, devoted to me, they can cross this Maya. So imagine a show of magician. It looks so attractive. The show of magicians, it is very difficult to understand, very attractive. At the same time, if you want to know what is actually, it is not really magic. It's difficult to understand as magic. However, if you make friends with the magician himself, you will understand what are the tricks. Similarly, the Maya is the delusion, the magic created by God. To completely understand this Maya, what is important? It is important to make friendship with the God himself. That is what Shri Krishna is telling. Mameva ye prapadyante. Those who take refuge in me, they can sail through and cross over. See, Arjun had a Sarthi, Shri Krishna. He was there to guide Arjun through this difficult times when he was in a dilemma. We also have God within us. And he's very, very near to us. He is the closest to us in this human form. However, we are so attached to this outside world that we start thinking this world is nearer to us than the God himself. Maya is a magical glass created by God himself, so we cannot understand it. But if we connect with the God within us, we will be able to understand the Maya around God himself, and we can easily free ourselves from the spell of this magician Maya. Now, here one important thing that Shri Krishna has said is Mameva ye prapadyante. Here one doubt arises. People might wonder, when we say Mameva me prapadyante, Mameva ye prapadyante, is it Shri Krishna alone whom we should be worshipping? Should our devotion be only to this particular God? Now, here, according to our wishes, we can wish for anything. We can get devoted. We can worship all forms of gods. However, all gods, ultimately, they are going to be one. All forms, gods are in different forms, but ultimately they all are one. Shri Krishna explains further. Namandashkrati no mudha prapanti. Here one important thing that Shri Krishna has told you, Mameva ye prapadyante. And they will be able to cross the Maya, the river of Maya, the illusion, they will be able to cross. Now, there are certain people, there is certain thing that Shri Krishna is explaining here, that only some people make that effort. Those who know that it is a magic show, they will try to understand the magic trick behind it. However, there is a set of people who will not follow this path, who will not make an attempt to understand the God. This Shri Krishna has explained in the further shloka. Namandashkrati no mudha prapadyante naradhamaha Mayaya paratadnyana asuram bhavamashritah. There is a set of people whom Shri Krishna has mentioned here is Dushkritino. Who is Dushkritino? the evildoers. And they have one more adjective is used here. That is apahrita jnana. That means whose knowledge, they are deprived of knowledge. Apahrita jnana means they are deprived of knowledge, ignorant. What is the problem with this particular set of people? They are evildoers who do things like theft, anything that is done to hurt others in an adverse way is dushkrit, is a thing that is dushkriti now. And how are these people? Moodhaha, because they're of the lowest category. Naradhamaha. The adjectives that are used here, why we should understand them is that we don't get there. We do not have, we have to always introspect. Is there anything that has been done by me which can adversely affect people? Will I ever fall in this list of people that Shri Krishna has listed out here? Moodhaha, Naradhamaha, who's Maya. And why do they behave like this? Why are they tempted to do these evil things? Because they are Mayaya Paritatjnana. Their knowledge is blinded because of the Maya. Their knowledge is blinded because of the delusion that is created around us. They are blinded by what they see around us. Whatever they see, they start believing it is truth. And this itself is ignorance. Once we understand this, then we can move a step further. First level of check comes here. And how are they? Asuram bhavamashritaha. In the previous shloka, here Shri Krishna has told there is a set of people who can cross this Maya river by understanding me, by taking shelter in me, and those whose bhav is asuri. We have learned about these gunas in the 16th chapter, Daivasura Sampad Vibhagayo. Here Shri Krishna has elaborately explained about the Daivi Sampada and the Asuri Sampada. What are the Asuri gunas? Anybody whose emotions are like fall in the category of Asuri guna, they are Asura Bhavamashritaha. Now, leaving these dushkrutino, leaving these evil-doing people aside, Shri Krishna has put a very beautiful explanation further. This is a set of people who are never going to worship. This is a set of people who are never going to bother about taking refuge in. However, there are devotees who are going to come to me, who are going to try to understand me. And what are they? There are all the devotees. Shri Krishna has categorized them in 4 categories. What are those categories? He has explained further. God has divided all those who worship him in whichever form into 4 categories. What are they? Chaturvidha bhajante mai jana sukrutinor Arto jignasarartharthi dhyani cha bharatarshabha. There are 4 types of, very important 4 types of devotees that Shri Krishna has told. Chaturvidha bhajante mai. All of them are the ones who worship me in some form or the other. And one very beautiful adjective he has used here is sukruti, sukrita. Sukrutinaha means virtuous, good people. So anyone who is worshipping God in whichever form, with whatever intent, is a sukrutinaha in his opinion. What is the meaning of sukritina? A virtuous person. So let us all be happy, because in some way or the other, we all are believers. We all believe in his divine powers. So each one of us falls in this category of Sukritina. So this shloka is about us. Now we have to find in which category of Sukritina. There are 4 categories of Sukritina here he has mentioned. Let us figure out in which of the categories do we fit. The first of the category he has mentioned is Artha. Artha is the one who will remember God in troubled time. So sometimes it happens somehow, like I became Artha sometime, like somehow this network should come back. Oh God, please don't let the network go today. Artha. That time I was in the role of a Artha Bhakta. We have seen this in our scriptures also. When we all know about the Gajendra Moksha Stotra. the elephant who was stuck there. He was so he in this state of problem. He with full conviction, he tried to remember God, and this beautiful shloka came out. He remembered things from his past birth. That is the Artha Bhakta, with full conviction, who are remembering God in terms when they are in difficult times. When Draupadi was in troubled times, she tried hard to save herself. However, when she figured out there is nothing that is helping out, she had a very conviction call she made for Sri Krishna, and Sri Krishna came to her help. So anybody who is calling Sri Krishna, who is getting attached to Sri Krishna at difficult times also, with a complete artata, with full conviction, the devotee who worship him, are also is the first category of the devotees that Sri Krishna has mentioned here. The second category is about the Jigyasu. So they know God exists. They know that He is there. However, there will be some, iota of doubt, a little bit of doubt around Him. How is God? What is God? Which God to worship? Which temple to visit? But they want to understand God. These are the curious ones. The word Jigyasa itself means curiosity. Jigyasu is the one curious, like us, trying to understand the Jnana Vijnana Yoga and trying to understand how God is, trying to understand how whether it is Avyakta form, Vyakta form, all the studies that you all are also trying, we are all trying it together to do, we fall in this category of Jigyasu. Who is a Jigyasu is trying to understand the God in some form. Then Artharthi. Oh God, let me, those who want some materialistic, those who worship God for some materialistic desire. Let me get some money. Let me get some, people will go for prayers before the exams. Artharthi. That is also, Artharthi doesn't necessarily mean with wealth. It also means with knowledge, or could be anything else, but with some materialistic desire. Today I had an opportunity to visit the Neelkantha temple, Artharthi. So many people we saw there. They'll go in the temple, visit with full conviction, go down to the God, and then tie those knots everywhere on trees, on the nets everywhere, go down, wish for the God, and once out of the temple, selfies. So there is no memory of the God. The moment they are out of the temple, once they know that their wish will be taken care of, they are out forgetting the God, but taking selfies. Artharthi, those who are worshipping the God with for something. One important thing we have to remember here, when we are talking about the Artharthi, they are very sure that the demand is made to somebody who is capable of fulfilling it. So this is the third category. We will make a wish to somebody who we know is capable of fulfilling it, isn't it? A small kid will go and ask something to the parents because he has full faith that my parents can give me this thing. A child will go to the mother and ask for food because she is very sure that she is the one who can give him food. So this Artharthis will worship the God because they have full faith that God is going to fulfill their desire. This is the third category of the devotees. Then the last one is the one that Shri Krishna explains is the Jnani. Jnani is the knowledgeable one. So we are taking a step by step up. Artha, the one who is remembering God only in difficult times. Jigyasu, the one who wants to know. Okay, is we praying to Ganesha, but is Ganesha capable of giving me wisdom? Jigyasu, how will he be doing it? You went to this temple. Is your wish fulfilled? Then Artharthi, and the highest category is of the knowledgeable ones, the Jnanis, who understand the God extremely well, who know God very well. They are the best amongst whom all the categories that have been described so far. About them, Shri Krishna describes how are the jnanis. Teshanyani nitya yukta eka bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnaninotyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. Tesham, amongst the four categories that Shri Krishna has mentioned, who is his favorite, Shri Krishna has mentioned here, amongst all these who have mentioned, Jnaninaha Atyartham Priyaha. Jnani devotees are my most favorite, exceedingly dear to me. Why so? We have to understand this. Only when we understand what about the Jnani people does Shri Krishna like, then we can try to get to that position. Every time we are trying to understand a shloka, we have to see it from our perspective also, where we have to reach, where we should, what are the things we should refrain from. Two important adjectives that Shri Krishna has used here for Jnani people: Nitya Yukta, always remembering, always connected to God. Not like the ones who once wish in the temple, come out and totally forgetting the God, back to our duties. While we are inside the temple, we are praying to the God, whatever we want, samriddhi, whatever we want for us is outside. When you see, just today I was wondering, when I was inside, because inside the temple, see people, tying knots and asking for their wishes. Outside also, there is so much opportunity. There are beautiful mountains, beautiful clouds around the temple. We have to take a moment and connect with the God and think about how beautiful nature He has made for us. Even outside, it's not that the God is existing only in the periphery of the temple. Even outside, there is so much beautiful things. He has installed a shivling there. As much as you respect that shivling, as much as you respect the God inside the temple, that much we should respect what is outside the temple also. While going inside, the people will be understanding, people. While going, if we are just going without any emotion, while going, after coming out, also the ones who are, chanting Har Har Mahadev, we saw outside also that conviction has to be there. Outside also there is so much to appreciate about one. Nitya Yukta, always connected to the God. And Eka Bhakti, except God, nothing else is a reality. Being able to see God in every creature around you, everything around you is a Eka Bhakta person. How are such people? There's a beautiful story of Eknath Maharaj. Eknath Maharaj once started from the Himalayas and he took water of Ganga in his kamandal. He had to offer it to Shivling in Rameshwar. On this journey, he saw a donkey who was extremely thirsty and there was no water around. He was carrying this Ganga Jal all the way from north till Rameshwar. He had to carry to offer it to the Shivling in Rameshwaram. However, he saw this thirsty donkey in between all the Ganga Jal that he had. He gave it to the donkey. The people who were accompanying him were surprised. Oh, how can you do this? You've taken it all the way. We've been walking in those days when there were no flights and no trains and all. In those times, it's been so difficult to get this Ganga Jal, and you are giving it to donkey to quench his thirst. He says, where is the donkey? Even in this creature, he would see the Parampita Paramatma in all the creatures around us. See, we will be so nice to the pujaris and anybody who's important to us. However, outside also, when we see, we should be able to, the Jnani is a person who is able to see God in everything. He is able to see Paramatma in every creature, every creation around him. That is an important characteristic of a Jnani person. Further, Shri Krishna explains the characteristics of a Jnani. Udara sarva evaite jnani tvatmaiva me matam. Asthitasya hi yuktatma mamevānuttamāṃ gatim. A very important, very beautiful shloka. Udara sarva evaite. Amongst all these, here evaite, here it is denoting about the four categories of the devotees that Shri Krishna has explained. Amongst all these four categories, Shri Krishna is talking the jnani, the wise one. They are like my atma. Tvatmaiva me matam. See how close Shri Krishna finds these devotees to himself. How much love. See, Krishna is going to definitely love everybody with the same connection. However, why these the jnani people are favorite to him? Because they are nitya yukta. They are also eka bhakti. They are always devoted. They always consider all the creatures around them to as their own, as Parampita Paramatma. And here Shri Krishna is saying, I love them so dearly that they are like my atma. Asthitasya yuktatma mamevānuttamāṃ gatim. Asthitasya yuktatma. They are so steadfast. They are established. Where in the mind they have established that there is nothing more supreme than the God himself, the ultimate goal. This is a beauty of our scriptures also. All our scriptures propagate this message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire Vasta is our family. Everybody usually has a different, way of looking, a different perspective for their family members and a different perspective for the people around them. However, the Jnani Purush, those who have this kind of thinking that Astita, they are established. They are established and in me alone, they are established, their mind is completely established in the Parampita Paramatma, and he itself is their supreme goal. Such a person becomes my Atma. Such a person, see, we are talking about trying to understand the God within us. We have to see that how much Shri Krishna also loves the jnani around them. If he sees a jnani there, how much he is going to love them. Bahunāṃ janmanāmante jnānavān māṃ prapadyate vāsudevas sarvamiti samahatma satsudurlabhah. What is very beautiful about these shlokas? Shri Krishna is telling us what he likes. What are the characteristics that he likes in a jnani? And here he is telling Bahunāṃ janmanāmante. It is going to take many births to understand who is a jnani. In the end, who is jnanavan mam prapatyate, to become a jnani. Jnaneshwar Maharaj has said a beautiful thing. He doesn't know how many crores of births he has taken to become Jnaneshwar Maharaj himself. It takes many years, many births. I'm not talking about just this one, but there are many people, we have to understand God. Immediately, it's not like a Boolean 0, 1, fast you will understand. No, it's going to take many months to reach this state, many births to reach the state of a jnani. Bahunāṃ janmanāmante. At the end of many births, one jnanavan will be able to reach me. And how is this? Vasudeva sarvamiti. How is this jnani? He understands that everything is Vasudeva. And Vasudeva is everything. Such a beautiful one. And this kind of Mahatma, this kind of a person is very difficult to find. It is very hard. Such a great soul. See, Shri Krishna himself is calling them a great soul. Such a great soul is very hard to find. Jnanavan mam prapadyante. Even now, one very important, two things we have to note in this shloka. Jnanavan mam prapadyante. Here, it doesn't mean that once a person becomes a jnani, then he will stop all bhakti. What a normal people with our limited intellect like us, you know, we could think, okay, once we become a jnani, then enough, then nothing is left to be done. No, this is not like when the Ganga ji is flowing into the sea, we don't say Ganga ji samudra se mil gayi. Means Ganga ji has united with the sea. Doesn't mean that she stops being united. She's still in the process. It is still, the flow is still continuing. Similarly, a jnani purush, a jnani person, once he is united with the God, his bhakti is not, his devotion is not going to stop. He will continue. He will continue to be doing his sadhana. If the sadhana stops, then slowly the ego rises. And once the ego rises, again the downfall starts. So how is a jnani? His jnana will not end anywhere. He has to for future also continue his sadhana. And that is naturally going to happen. Why? Because he understands God in fullest way, in best possible way. Such a person can never be attracted, tempted to be connected to anything else. We have seen a beautiful example of Janabai. A lot of other examples, Mirabai, our saints, they are all how devoted to the deity that whom they were worshipping. Nothing else was more important for them than their devotion itself. And once they were united with the God, once Mirabai was united with the God, she was saved by God from so many things that were happening around her. Even after that, it's not that now I'm God's favorite, now I'll stop my sadhana. No, still always connected. So that is a very important thing. Jnanavan mam prapadyate. They are continuously going to be devoted to me. And this kind, and understanding Vasudeva Sarvamiti, they understand that I am Vasudev. Now we feel Vasudev is Krishna in a humanly form, but they understand the tattva of Vasudev, the one who's behind the Vasudev, the divine power around Vasudev is what they understand. And this kind of great soul is very hard to find. Durlabhaha samahatma sudurlabhaha. One thing that I've heard, it might be easy to find God himself, but it is difficult to find this kind of jnani. And Shri Krishna further explains why so many people are not able to continue on this path of becoming jnanis. 4 types of devotees. Why is a artha or a jigyasu bhakta, jigyasu devotee not able to attain that level of a jnani? What are the obstacles in between this? He has explained in the further shlokas. Kamaistaistairtadnyanav prapadyante nyadevataha tantanniyamamasthaya prakritya niyatasvayam. What is it that stops us from going on this path of becoming a jnani? Taihi kamaihi ritadnyanaha. We are so full of desires. Once we get good education, from a perspective of a parent, if I tell you, let my kid become, get admission in a beautiful school, ICSE board, falana, so many dreams the parents will have right from the nursery. Then once that thing happens, let them become engineers, doctors, let him get a good job. The desire is not only of the child himself, but also of everybody around him. We will have desires not only for ourselves, but also for our relatives, then with the desires for their expectations. Such a complicated world we have created around ourselves. Kamaihi taiste ritadnyana prapadyante nyadevataha. We have created this world full of desires around us, and in that what we are doing, we people, in order to fulfill those desires, aritadnyanaha, those who are blinded by their ignorance, these people end up doing what? They end up praying to other God. Hey Gajanana, mujhe buddhi de do. Pray to Lord Ganpati to give us bhakti. Pray to Mata Lakshmi to give us wealth. And there is nothing wrong in it. Shri Krishna is not saying that this is wrong. What he is saying is just that this is how it is. This is a statement. Owing to various desires to get their wishes fulfilled, people are worshipping different gods and goddesses. Anya devataha prapadyante. They are praying to other gods. And how they are doing it? They are following all the rules. Niyama masthaya. They are following all the rules, like what Shivling we will go and put the Bel Patra. We will offer Ganga Jal to it. To Gajanana Ganpati, we will offer red color flowers. We will give prasad of Modak. Whatever the deity likes, that we will give. Isn't it? So now there is nothing wrong in it. Why? Suppose a person wants a license. And we all know Government of India. So if I want a license, will I go to the police station to get license? No, I will go to the correct department. The RTO needs to be visited to get a license. So what is my desire? I have to go to that department, that deity to get it done. So, and what do the people do? Owing to their various desires, they start worshipping all other gods and following their proper rules. They are trying to do what? They are trying to lead the lives accordingly. And what happens further? Yo yo yam yo yo yantanum bhakta shraddhayarchitumicchati tasya tasyachalam shraddhantameva vidadhamyam. Those who are now here, this is a very important thing. This whatever is the thing we want, like I told you, everything is this RTO is also a department of Government of India. The police station is also Department of India. The fire department also belongs to the government. And according to the department that I have worked with, I will go to that particular department. Now, the desire that I need a license and it is coming from one particular point of origin. We think it is coming from us, but based on my intellect, based on my actions, based on my mind, this desire is also coming from where Shri Krishna says, I am the one. Tasya tasya chalam shraddhan tameva vidadhamyam. I am making them wish for it. So whatsoever form devotee desires to worship with, that faith becomes him, that I will ensure that whatever. So this is also unflinching love that he has for us. How it is, I wanted buddhi, so he has encouraged me, so he has given me this desire to go to Ganpati and get it done. And according to what I desire, my wishes are getting fulfilled. Sataya shraddhaya yuktas tasya radhana mihate labhate cha tatakkaman mayaiva vihitan hitan. This is a very important. This my wishes are getting fulfilled. I told you. Means sataya shraddhaya yuktas, with that faith. When and how it is, this faith. Tasya radhana mihate, by worshipping whom? These all the gods, they are getting their work done. Now, if the RTO has to issue a license, the rule, there is an issuing authority. If he sees a person is below 18 years, he will say, no, your wish rejected, 18 plus, fulfill all other conditions and you are getting the right. But whoever is doing this job, whichever authority is sitting and giving them the license, who has appointed them? The Government of India, isn't it? The Government of India has authorized this person to give a license. Similarly, all these gods, they are like God's department. They have been authorized by this Parampita Paramatma only to get all their wishes fulfilled, to get all these desires fulfilled. All this is going to be available. We are getting it with in accordance to what? In accordance to their aradhana, and they are going to get it within the rules that Parampita Paramatma has said. So tomorrow, if I go to Brahmaji and say that I want to be Amar, we have seen this in our scriptures, he will not be giving that because the government has not given permission to give that boon. He has to follow the rules that are created around this world. And see, this entire process is not being undermined here. Very important thing we should understand. This is the beauty of our scripture. The beauty lies in what? In the provisions, in the freedom that our scriptures has given us. Whatever you want, in whichever form you like, you are free to do your worship. You are free to go on this path of your devotion. But at the end of it, we all, those who are worshipping for the fruits, they have to remember one very important things about the fruits that they are desiring. Antavattu phalante shantatvatyalpamedhasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Antavat tu phalam. This is, if fruits that we are getting, the results that we are getting, ultimately are going to end. They are not eternal. This is what Sri Krishna's forget. And whoever, Deva Yagya, whoever are worshipping the gods and getting it, they don't realize that it is a temporary thing. And in that process, they are forgetting what? The one who is giving this entire permission. And here one important, Sri Krishna is not saying that they are Ajnani or they are not, he's not, but he's saying Alpamedhasa. Alpamedha. The people, they have a little less intellect. They are having a little less intelligence. As they grow in the line of devotion, in the hierarchy of devotion, as they grow, then they will be able to understand me in a better way. Here Sri Krishna is saying these fruits are ultimately what? They are going to end. They are not eternal. This, the Alpameda, these people are forgetting and they continue to worship the gods. Madbhakta yanti mamapi, and they are going to continue this worship. This, once if we get a fruit, then next time again, okay, once I went to this Chilpal Balaji, I got the visa. Oh, then other people also starting, I also want visa. Instead of those efforts, further they'll keep visiting. God, give us visa. God, next time again. So this becomes this habit of continuously wishing wishing for what? Our desires. In this, what is happening? The Avyakta Roop, the unmanifested form, the Parampita Paramatma is completely forgotten. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyate mama buddhayah param bhavam jananto mama vyayamanutamam. What is happening? Ajananta param bhavam ajanantah. In all this, in trying to attain whatever is visible to them, in that they are forgetting what? My main form. Okay, so hey, Sri Krishna, give me this, give me that. In that he is forgetting. He is the entire universe. He is forgetting everything that this is happening. And why this is happening? Because there is a curtain of what? Maya in front of us. See, this, to understand this thing of Maya, you imagine in the olden days, most of you must be knowing, we used to use lanterns. There is a small fire that is going on inside it, and it is covered by a glass. Now this glass, after some time, it will start becoming black, and the light starts diminishing gradually. And this outer thing will be there, the light is not visible. Only when we clear that kajal or the black suit that is on the glass, then we will be able to see that prakas, that light properly. This is what Shri Krishna says, that people are so delusioned by everything that the inner form that is being completely forgotten. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavratah मूढ़ो यन्नाभिजानाति लोको मामजमव्ययम्. What is it? What is that? I am the Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya. Because of this Yogamaya, like I told you, this because of the suit, as the Prakash was not visible. We are not able to see the light. Only when we clear this delusion, then we will be able to see the Prakash. Mudhoyan nabhijanati. The people who are foolish people, those who are blinded by this delusion, they do not understand this. They start believing that the world around them itself is truth. And what is happening? Loko mamajamavyayam, my unborn, imperishable form, which is what the one that everybody should know about, or one that everybody should be conscious about, is forgotten. For instance, the movies, we all go for movies. When you are seeing the movie, we forget that it is all coming on a curtain. Without the curtain, the existence of movie is zero. The movie is being projected on the curtain. We are watching the movie, enjoying the movie, getting involved emotionally in the movie, everything said and done. But it is all happening with the help of a curtain. The existence of the curtain, if we forget, then we are just seeing only the movie, and we are just believing that this is the truth. But what is behind it? Unless and until we see that, yes, there is a curtain and all the images are just moving on it, we will be involved in the story, in the movie, very emotionally. I'm giving a very small example here. This is a very basic, primitive example, but this is what it is. Without the curtain, the movie has no meaning, as in movie has no meaning in the sense of its existence. Without the Parampita, there is no existence for this movie that we are watching 24/7 around us. To understand that this is a movie going around 24/7, we have to understand this one tattva that is behind it, the Parampita Paramatma tattva. We have to always remind ourselves of this Avyaya form. Then further Shri Krishna says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjana bhavishyani cha bhutani mantu vedana kaschana. Vedaham samatitani, everything I know. I have the knowledge of the past, I have the knowledge of the present, and I also have the knowledge of what? The future. This is very beautifully also explained in the 11th chapter also, when Shri Krishna's Vishwarupa, you will all see that in the 4th level also, how he, in the real form of, in the Vishwarupa Darshan form, Arjun himself could also see the future of the war. So he, in this Parampita Paramatma, in the basic form itself, the past, present, and the future are lying. Everything is inside. All the three times are a manifestation of this Parampita Paramatma. But this is what is known to whom? Shri Krishna himself. Bhutani Bhantu Vedana Kaschana. They don't know me. Though I know the past, present, and future, I know these. The creatures, the human beings, all creatures, they do not know me. I know their past, present, future, but they do not know me at all. And why is it that they do not know? Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Why they do not know? Because they are constantly in this conflicting states. First, they are in the Ichcha. Ichcha means desire, immense desires for everything. Apart from these desires, there are many things. Ichcha, dvesha, paraspar, whatever hatred or irsha, whatever jealousy people feel, are, and what is it? This entire thing is arising from what? Dvandva mohena bharata. Everything is arising from these two things. One is from the desires, another is from aversion, from jealousy, from the feelings that we have about with each other. Out of these, what is coming? Samuthena means everything is originating from our desires. And what is originating? A type of conflict. A dvandva is originating. Like, what is the meaning of dvandva? Dvandva are two opposite things together. Sukha, dukkha. Shanti, ashanti. Aishwarya, anaishwarya. All the opposite things together. Why are these coming up? Because of excessive desires. Some people will have excess desires, excess attachment. Along with these, what will come? These dvandva will come. For instance, I got a promotion and this is coming with a lot of happiness. My friend also got promotion. Dvesha, little bit, okay. So this is minor. And then sukha dukkha. Sukha dukkha is a continuous cycle. How much ever we describe, it is going to be lottery like this. Sukha, very much sukha. Bankruptcy, dukkha. All these are going to happen in pairs. Person is so attached to them. Person, because of his desires and his expectations, these type of conflicts, these type of dvandva are continuously coming. And in that, what is happening? Because of that, people are just engrossed in that. They are engrossed in this delusion around them. Sarva bhutani sammoham. They are continuously engrossed in this emotional struggle, which is around the desires, continuously entangled in that. Sargeyanti parantapa. They are all continuously engrossed in this, and that is the reason they are not able to understand me. But yeshantantagatam papai jananam punya karmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante mandridha prataha. There are some who at the end they will realize that what are the, owing to their virtuous deeds, what are the good things to do, what is it that is keeping us entangled. Some people will understand. In the end, they will understand that people will understand punya karmana, that they have to become what? Free. Owing to their virtuous deed, owing to their good deeds, they will ultimately be what? Get freed from the delusion of what? This pair of opposites. Only when they are free from these desires, they will be able to what? Able to worship me. Bhajante man dridha prataha. They will be able to what? Understand me. See, we were talking about this curtain and movie. When the moment you realize that this is all movie going on curtains, we will not be emotionally attached with it. We will not fall prey to anything that is shown. See, when some violence is being shown, we also start feeling the violence. The moment we see that it is just a picture on the screen and it is going to get flushed away, the moment it is just the screen that is the ultimate reality, we will not get emotionally perturbed or emotionally disturbed by what we are seeing. And that is the important thing. The moment we realize that as a part of our virtuous deeds, when we see that this is, this is all Maya, we will be what? Free from dvandva moha nirmukta. We will be free from what? The pair of these type of conflicting things. Sukha, dukkha, we will be free from all these things. And such people, well, how this is going to happen? By being dridha vrataha. This is a very important word. It is a very important word in context of the things that a devotee should very essentially have. That is, dridha vrataha means a person who is steadfast on whatever he decides. These kind of people will be determined. I have to attain this and I will attain it. I have to attain God and I will attain it. Only such people. In the last few shlokas, the path to end this entire conflict has been explained. So further Shri Krishna says, Jara Marana Mokshaya Mamashritya Yatanti Te Brahma Tadvidukritsnang Adhyatmang Karma Chakhilam. So Jara Marana Mokshaya, we are in a cycle. We want more and more desires are there. So we were born with more desires. We create some desires. We leave the world without fulfilling the desires. To fulfill those, a new birth is taken. It is a vicious cycle. But if we take shelter, we take refuge in whom? In the Shri Parampita Paramatma. If we understand this entire logic behind the Jara Marana, and we understand the entire logic behind how the desires are working, what will happen? Mama Shritya Yatantite. We will be what? If you take shelter in them, then you are going to be free from these Jara Marana. And how are those people who will be free from these? How are these people who will be free from these desires? Te Brahma Tadvidukritsnam. Te Brahma. They have an understanding of some very important terms. What are those terms? Brahma and Adhyatma. They have an understanding of what is Brahma and what is Adhyatma. Tat Vidu Kritsnam. Kritsnam means complete understanding, not partial understanding. A complete understanding of Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma, and further Sadi Bhutadi Daivam Mam Sadi Agnaincha Ye Viduhu Prayana Kali Pichamante Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. This 29th and 30th shloka we should see together. These things a person who understands. Who are such people? They are jnani people. Those who understand these 6 terms, Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma, then Sadibhuta, Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagnya. All these things the person who understands, and who also understands that Prayana Kali Pichaman, who remembers me at the end of their death. Such kind of person, they vidur yukta chetasa. They will become who? They will be the Jnani Purush, the Yukta Purush that Shri Krishna is talking about. Now, what are these terms? Obviously, a question will come, okay, how to know Brahma, how to know Karma, what is this Adiyagnya, what is this Adidaiva? Very critical questions. These terms that we spoke about just now, these are what? These are some basic technical terms. Like to understand a laptop, we have to understand what is hardware, what is software. To understand or work on a computer, we need to know what is a keyboard, what is a mouse. There are some basic technical terms that are essential to understand any basic science, any basic technology, any basic stream of knowledge. These are the basic stream of knowledge that a person has to understand the God himself. These terms become the basis of the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. These terms are explained from the first shloka in the 8th chapter. So on that, this becomes a foundation of the 8th chapter. On that, Maharshi Vyasji puts a full stop on the 7th chapter. Om Tat Sadite Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyāyāṁ Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Vijnana Yogo Nama Saptamodhyayaha. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. This is a very difficult chapter. I'm extremely sorry about the time limit or the network and all these challenges. It was a little difficult to follow the time also. However, please understand one important thing, that this is a term with certain things are difficult, but we have to set ourselves with full determination on this path. Until and unless we begin somewhere, we are not going to reach anywhere. So let us continue on this journey. Let us start this journey with full conviction and try to travel as far as we can. On that note, I offer this entire discourse at the feet of Swami Puram Puja Swami Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj and Shri Krishna himself. May they both give us the wisdom to attain this jnani state in some birth or the other. Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. Shri Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hari Om. That's it.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much for such lucid explanation with beautiful analogies. It makes people like us to understand. It becomes so much easier for us to understand the shlokas with these anecdotes and the analogies with which you explained. So thank you very much for that. So now it's a question and answer session. So if you have any doubts, please raise your hands and Didi will be very happy to address any of the queries that you might have. So please raise your hand.
Hand raises. You can raise the hand. There is a question on the chat which I will take up. Somebody has asked about what is Duratyaya.
Yes.
Mama Maya Duratyaya. Duratyaya means difficult to cross, difficult to comprehend, and difficult to tame, as you can say. It is difficult to come out of it, like a maze. You all might have been in the maze. It is difficult to that mirror maze and all, difficult to find a way out. Like that, our Maya is also Duratyaya, difficult to comprehend and cross over.
Yeah, anyone else has any doubts, please raise your hand. I guess the explanation was so clear with your anecdotes and analogies that nobody has any doubts. There's no room for any doubt left, I guess.
Or
So-
maybe. Let's hope so.
So
But thank you everybody for the patient listening. And
with this, we come to the end of this interpretation session. And we'll have this closing prayer followed by Hanuman Chalisa. Please stay back until the very end of the session to listen to Hanuman Chalisa till the end. So for the closing prayer, we have Machepalli Padmavati Didi from Chikkala, Andhra Pradesh. And Didi loves reading spiritual books, and she's a L1 trainer associated with Geeta Parivar from March 2021. So over to you, Didi, for the closing prayer.
Yogesham Sachidanandam Vasudevam Vrajapriyam Dharma Samsthapakam Veeram Krishna Vande Jagadgurum. Krishna Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
So thank you very much. So I would like to thank each one of you who has been a part of this today's session, starting with Shraddha Didi, with such beautiful interpretation session, despite all the challenges that we had, very, very little though, not much. The fact that you could address us from Rishikesh itself is a blessing by itself. So thank you, Didi, for that. Then thank you, Neeta ji, who is the main person behind getting this whole thing done. So thank you, Neeta Didi, Srinivas Rao ji, Aparna ji, Padmavati ji, and all the savis who are behind this, whom we do not get to see, who are not there in the forefront, but there who are working behind to make not only this session, but every session that we have at Geeta Parivar a grand success. So thank you, everyone. So we will move on to the recitation of Hanuman Chalisa, and then we will end this. So please stay back for that.
Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nij Manu Mukuru Sudhari Baranau Raghuvara Bimala Jasu Jodaya Kupalachari Buddhihina Tanu Janike Sumirau Pavan Kumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kalesa Vikar जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति हूँ लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है पर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरना मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय।
Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much to be for taking time out to be a part of this entire session. And we just hope that you will be there to attend every interpretation session, because that really helps not only understand the shlokas better, also to change our way of life. The way Didi had said today, that has to go on to continue our journey towards the spiritual end. So thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna.